Rapid City area schools recently sent out a community-wide survey to see if people would support a potential referendum which would address the district's enduring needs for their facilities. Ever since a bond referendum seeking to provide funding for facility upgrades did not receive enough votes back in February of 2020, the district has been engaging with people over the last several years through surveys, listening sessions, and focus groups. It's a way for the district to have a better understanding of the priorities and values of taxpayers and stockholders. The feedback collected by RCAS has led them to sending out mailed surveys to residents in the Rapid City area.
If the community supports a bond, those facility projects happen in a much faster way, in a way that really benefits the students and the community as a whole, and puts our facility improvement on a much different looking path.
As part of the district's master plan, the major facility projects include bringing a new elementary school, renovations and expansions to several current elementary schools. Sassy says another project includes addressing HVAC issues with many of the schools without air conditioning. People have until August 20th to complete the survey. Sassy expects the result to be presented to the RCAS school board by late August.